Ladies and gentlemen, listen up. I'm about to hit you with some hard truths, and I'm not going to sugarcoat any of it. For too long, too many of you have been living your lives as if the world owes you something. You've been playing the victim, making excuses, blaming others, and whining about how unfair life is. It's time to shut that noise down. It's time to stop complaining. It's time to silence your inner victim. You think the world owes you. You think life should hand you success on a silver platter because you exist. Wrong. The world doesn't care. The world doesn't owe you a damn thing. If you've been waiting for things to get easier, waiting for someone to cut you some slack, you're in for a rude awakening. Life is brutal. It's ruthless. It doesn't care about your feelings, your struggles, or your so-called hardships. No one is going to feel sorry for you. This is the harsh truth. No one cares about your struggles unless you do something about them. But I get it. I understand that for some of you, complaining has become a habit. It's your comfort zone. When things get tough, it's easy to point the finger, blame the system, or pull the poor me card. That's your safety net, right? You complain because it lets you off the hook. You don't have to take responsibility. You don't have to get your hands dirty, and you don't have to face the truth. Well, here's the problem. Complaining doesn't solve anything. It's just a distraction. It's a way for you to avoid facing the truth about yourself, about your choices, and about your actions. And deep down, you know it. You know that complaining is just a mask you wear to cover up the fact that you're too afraid to step up and take control of your life. It's easier to whine than to act. But here's the truth you've been avoiding. Nothing, absolutely nothing, will change until you stop being the victim. I don't care if you had a rough childhood. I don't care if you've been knocked down by life. I don't care if you've faced hardships and setbacks. Yes, life can be unfair, but that's not a free pass for you to sit back, mope around, and complain. It's time to stop blaming your past for your present situation. If you're still stuck in that mindset, you're never going to move forward. You'll be forever trapped in that cycle of excuses. It's not about what happens to you. It's about how you respond to it. And let's be real. You're not a victim unless you choose to be one. You can't control everything that happens in your life, but you can control your reaction. You can control your mindset. So stop being a slave to your circumstances. Take ownership. Stop playing the victim card every time life throws a punch at you. You've been told for too long that it's okay to feel sorry for yourself. You've been told that you deserve sympathy, that it's okay to dwell on your failures. You've been taught to wear your scars like badges of honor, as if suffering somehow gives you the right to complain. Guess what? It doesn't. You can't sit around waiting for the world to change. The world is not going to bend over backward for you. If you're waiting for some miraculous event to come along and save you, forget it. It's not going to happen. But here's the good news. You have the power to change your life. I'm not here to give you a pat on the back and tell you it's all going to be okay. That's not the message you need to hear. You need to hear this. Get off your ass and do something about it. Stop making excuses. Stop talking about how you don't have enough time. Stop whining about how hard things are. We all have problems. We all have challenges. But the difference between the winners and the losers is simple. Winners find a way to move forward, no matter what. Losers sit around complaining and waiting for things to get better. And that's where you come in, because deep down, you know you're better than this. You know you're capable of more. You know you have potential that you've been wasting for too long. But you've let fear, doubt, and self-pity hold you back. You've let your inner victim talk you out of taking action. Let me tell you something. Your inner victim is your biggest enemy. That voice inside your head that tells you it's too hard, That voice that says you'll never make it. That voice that tells you to quit, to give up, to let someone else deal with it. That's not your friend. That's the enemy. That's the part of you that wants to keep you weak, to keep you stuck in the same miserable place. And you've been listening to it for too long. You've been feeding that victim mentality, and it's time to starve it. You want to know the biggest lie that's been sold to you? It's the idea that the world is against you, that success is for the lucky few, and that you can't change your life because the odds are stacked against you. Well, guess what? Those are lies. You are not powerless. You are not some helpless victim of fate. You are not defined by your past. You're defined by what you do today, your actions, your decisions, and your mindset. That's what defines you, not your struggles, not your setbacks, not your failures. The way you respond to them is what matters. Stop waiting for things to get easier. Stop thinking that success is something that will just fall into your lap. No one is going to hand you anything. You want success. You want a better life. You want to silence that inner victim. Then you better start fighting for it. You better start working for it. And most importantly, you better start taking responsibility for your own life. Stop blaming others. Stop blaming your job. Stop blaming your circumstances. Stop blaming your parents, your friends, or the system. The only person standing in the way of your success is you. You are the one holding yourself back. It's your fear, your insecurity, and your victim mentality that's stopping you from moving forward. And the moment you realize that, the moment you stop blaming everyone else for your problems, that's when things start to change. Now, I know some of you are sitting there thinking, this guy doesn't understand. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know my struggles. Well, let me tell you this. I don't need to know your struggles. The fact is, every single one of us has been through tough times. Every one of us has faced adversity. But what separates the winners from the losers is how they handle it. Winners don't dwell on their problems. Winners don't play the victim. Winners get up, get moving, and take action. And you're going to do the same. There's no more time for complaining. No more time for feeling sorry for yourself. The world doesn't care about your excuses. The world cares about what you do, not what you say. So stop talking about it. Stop making promises you don't keep. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. The time is now. Start taking responsibility for your actions. Stop waiting for life to hand you a break. If you want something, go out and take it. If you want to change your life, start today. Don't wait for the stars to align. Don't wait for things to magically fall into place. You create your own opportunities. It's time to silence that inner victim. It's time to stop complaining and start acting. It's time to take control of your life. You can do this, but only if you stop making excuses. Only if you stop feeling sorry for yourself. Only if you stop listening to that voice that tells you it's too hard. So are you going to keep complaining, or are you going to do something about it? The choice is yours. But don't forget, no one cares about your struggles. They care about what you do with them. Now let's get to work.